Town of Waukesha, Thursday, August 14th, Town Board meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, would you begin with the roll call, please?
Supervisor Durr?
Here.
Supervisor Fisher?
Here.
Chairman Merrick?
Present?
Supervisor Wolf?
Here.
Supervisor Wagner?
Here.
And also Attorney Macy and Clerk Nicholas. Madam Clerk, have we complied with all of the rules of the open meetings law?
Yes, we have.
And we can begin with citizens' comments?
As a former middle school teacher for more than 40 years, I am well aware of the importance of positive adult behavior modeling on our youth. It is for this reason I stand opposed to the possible liquor licensing of the Five Diamonds business in our community and any other present or future youth-related facility. I have witnessed the consequences of parents who have consumed alcohol inappropriately in the presence of their children. Parental drinking contributes negatively toward the children's attitude regarding drugs. And be real, people, alcohol is a drug. Drinking contributes toward impaired driving abilities. Be real, people, drunk driving kills young and old. I urge you Plan Commission members and Town Board members to think deeply as you consider proposed uses of any property, and specifically before you grant a liquor license to Five Diamonds. It is now zoned as a park, a place of wholesome youth fun. Let it be a place where rowdy, drunken behavior is not promoted. Help our youth compete with encouragement, not inebriated adults yelling at them, each other, or umpires. It is now a popular gathering place, a place where families can meet safely. Let it be a place where police presence is not needed to control behavior. Help those families remain intact with unimpaired driving as they enter and exit the park. I implore your consciences, refuse a possible liquor license request. I want my document as part of the permanent public record.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Wayne Krzyzanowski, West 254, South 4360, Pinhook Lane. Also, if you're able to handle and change the agenda to the August 7th minutes, I did find another error that's in there, and it's just a reading error. On item 6C, the question is, which supervisor seconded Mr. Fisher's motion? There isn't any supervisor's name there. And then what I really came up here was to report this, which I will give to you and hand in, and I'd like it in the record. The town has a new audio system that sounds great. As I understand it and see it, we also have the ability to video record these meetings. As a town citizens, I am wondering the following, and I'm going to give you the questions because I know you can't give me the answers, but I do have 10 questions. Is the video system currently operational? That's one. Number two, are you currently broadcasting these meetings? If so, how? And can you go, and where can you go to view them? 3, is this a live broadcast or delayed broadcast? 4, will these sessions be recorded and archived? 5, how long will the recorded sessions be kept? 6, will they be available to the public? 7, how can the public get a hold of them for viewing? 8, will you inform the citizens of the town of this new technology? 9, how will you inform the citizens of this new technology? And 10, will this information be included with the yearly announcement for the fire department's pancake breakfast in October? And respectfully submitted, Wayne Krzyzanowski.
Thank you.
Sandy Hahn. Do you have the address, Kathy?
Yes.
Okay. My second comment tonight has to do with the movement of funds from the general fund for budget amendments. And I made similar remarks April 24th of this year. By my figures, the general fund has been tapped for $33,000 for salt and to pay another $7,000 for auditing, so $40,000. And that's not so bad. Both items seem reasonable and necessary under the circumstances. But in tonight's agenda, there's an item 8A to discuss borrowing $120,000 from the county at 1.5%. At the July meeting, I sensed that regardless of any borrowing, the funds would ultimately come from the general fund or a grant. The best thing I heard on the topic was Supervisor Doerr's comment to band together with other towns and delay the deadline for implementation with the county until we actually get the grant or know that we won't. And since it makes no sense for the town to borrow at 1.5%, I'm in favor of waiting on everything until we learn about the grant. Yes or no, and then take the appropriate action. But if we don't get the grant and we take another $120,000 from the general fund for the radio upgrade, that will bring funding from the general fund this year to $160,000. That's roughly 10% over budgeted expenses for 2014. Please spend our money wisely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wayne Borchard, Big Bend Road. We are asking the members of the boards of town of Waukesha to reconsider their decision to rezone the Five Diamonds parcel. This benefits only the owners. They are operating now and don't need any more concessions to their demands. This should have never gotten this far in the process. If you are not sure how to vote on an issue, consult the people. With the public hearing, you will find 90% against this. What is the town to gain? What about the town's reputation? I have heard plenty about this from town people and out of the town. No, they're asking me, why don't somebody use common sense in this issue? You are elected or appointed to vote the will of the town residents, not special interest groups. Now the possible liquor license issue. This needs to be defeated. No way are you going to turn your backs on the youth of our town and surrounding area. This would be a cheap shot against our youth. Alcohol and youth don't mix, and we need to question your basic thinking on this issue. Youth should never be associated with alcohol in any way, shape, or form at a youth facility in our town. If someone should happen to get killed or seriously injured in an accident leaving the ballpark, would it be on your conscience forever? Would you partially feel responsible for this accident? If parents who are there for only a couple hours need a cold drink, they can have a cold soft drink. Parents are already unruly with liquor, without liquor at these events, and with liquor it's going to be just that much worse. Waukesha County has a high drunken driving record to start with. This will only make that worse. It's time to realize the severity of the decision that was made. Please reconsider. Is this the best we can expect?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Angie Van Sock, South 51, West 25375, Glendale Road, Town of Waukesha. I've noticed over the past period of time, probably since the new administration, that the packets are not complete for the board members. And I find that difficult for the board members to do their job, as well as for the public to understand what is on site. Per your ordinances, all information related to a project or something on the agenda needs to be to the clerk by, I believe, 4 p.m. the week before. That means all documents related to that should be submitted. If it's not, it shouldn't be on the agenda. The clerk was kind enough to provide some information that wasn't in the packet, and I appreciate that very much. I think the whole idea of having the information out and having things videotaped is so the public actually has time to review and absorb the information prior to the meeting. And I hope all of you, if you are getting information the night of the meeting, will object, because that isn't appropriate and it doesn't give you enough time. One of those items is this letter of agreement to provide Waukesha County winter materials to the town of Waukesha. I asked to see any bids for salt. I was provided one, so I'm assuming when one was received, that was from the county, for 2,000 tons of salt. This is significantly higher than what we've purchased in the past. Without competitive bids, how do we know if their almost $70 a ton is reasonable? Does it include trucking? Are we going to be paying our snowplower to go to the county to pick it up? That adds significant cost. But what's most interesting is we are required to take all 2,000 ton. That is not the requirement if you go through North America or if you go through Morton. We traditionally always use 2 suppliers because in difficult times, one supplier can run out, and we wanted to be sure that we would always have salt available to the town as it's used for safety. But the most important statement in here is the very last. The town or the county writes, "Please be advised, the county reserves the right to discontinue supply in the event salt shortages occur." That's putting us at risk. I don't see how that's acceptable in any measure. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? And we'll move